Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Cod.
Episode, yes, sir. Episode 76, if I am not mistaken. We are back. We are live. We are direct. And we got a lot to talk about. First off, I see you with the full socks gear. And I am correct. It is episode 76, so we can get into it. Just had to make sure.
Right.
But where we at though? Where we at with the Sox, man? Give us a quick update, quick rundown.
Man, they're back and forth at 500. And for those who don't really watch baseball, or for those who do, 500 is 50% games won, and that's really where you want to be around the time the All-Star games come around, just so you can, you know what I mean,
Right.
be in there for the playoffs. But man, they've been struggling a little bit. We were projected to be one of the best teams in MLB, and they've been struggling. So I don't know if it's management. I don't know if it's injuries. It might be a number of things. But true fans stay fans, and support regardless. So
Big
I'm here.
facts, big facts, big
We're here.
facts.
We're here. So yeah, man, it's a lot
Here for
going
the
on.
long haul. Yeah,
That's
it
it.
is a lot going on. Before we get into anything more pressing, I know, last week with the draft and everything, there was some thoughts on where Levine was gonna go.
Right.
But I guess if I'm not mistaken, he had chose to sign with the Bulls, right?
Yeah, he re-signed.
Yeah, he re-signed with the Bulls. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
there, but I guess there's still some questions on if he really wants to stay in Chicago or not. Like just because he re-signed, it's not on some, oh yeah, cool, we got him 100% on board. He might still ask for a trade down the line, but for now, we've retained Levine, somebody that we definitely needed last season, who was an integral part of last season. But
Mhm.
yeah, where do we how do we think the Bulls fared in the draft, and how are we looking for this next season?
I mean, we got some young boys, man, and to be honest with you, we had a lot of chemistry. I mean, the Bulls haven't been playing bad. It's just
Right.
that we've been kind of looking for that it factor. And like you said, we
Mhm.
retain Levine. So I mean, that's an investment. Hopefully, he comes back, that much more stronger, that much more knowledgeable, and us having a little playoff experience. Man, we can do it. Adding some young guys to the roster, that's always a good move. Like I said, like I think we talked about it last time. Like teams like the Suns, like Memphis, if they showed us anything, is that the youth is the future. That
Yep.
fast paced basketball, being able to dish it off, being able to sub in some guys who are gonna pick up the slack when we need it. Um, hey man, I'm excited. We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Yes, sir.
We picked up a big man too. I think Drummond.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Well, Drummond too. So I mean, that's a welcome addition. I mean, to get another big man down there to help out Vooch, and shit. Yeah, man. I mean, that's they making some moves. So hopefully we put together a team,
Yeah.
a scrappy team, and a team that can work well together, bro. What you think? What you
Yeah.
think about it?
Hey, look, like you said, we made the addition of Drummond, which is going to be good to the team. We re-signed Levine, so regardless if he stays or goes, we got him for right now. So we can at least focus on starting off the season strong. I know we got Lonzo still, so we got most of our team from last year, and like you said, it's not like we played bad. We just gotta keep focusing on the chemistry and just hit that groove.
That's
So
it.
maybe Drummond is the it factor, as the big man, or maybe down the line we figure it out while improving our compatibility on the court and things like that, while the players get to learn more about each other, gel more, things like that. A second year with the same team, hopefully, you learned a lot from that first season, and you can capitalize on the good things, and focus on focus on what went wrong over the season and things like that. But like you said, they didn't play bad, so I'm
Yeah,
optimistic that we can get back into it and just work on what we need to work on and go from there.
they had
Maybe
to get
make
the
some
chemistry.
key trades. Right.
Yeah, the chemistry, bro. I mean, shit. Adding DeMar was huge,
Yeah.
and Levine was used to being that guy. So now you got this other dude who's putting up points and making stuff happen. You know what I mean? They have to learn how to
Right.
play with each other.
And that's a thing, when we talk about we don't know if he gonna stay or leave, maybe that's in his head too. Maybe he wants to go and be the man somewhere. But hey, maybe your best chance is learning how to play with DeRozan.
Right.
And then you guys can be better together than you are apart and things like that, rather than you go to another team and struggle to be a leader. Not saying that he would struggle or will struggle, but things like that. But sometimes you never know, maybe working on a team is better than you think, or better than let me get that opportunity to go be a star and things like that. So hopefully
Right.
everybody learns their role and plays their role and is okay with their role, because
Right.
like I said, there's a lot of people who want to be the star. I know KD was big in the news
I
around
was
this
just
whole
about to bring
draft,
him
and
up.
right, like where
I was
does he
just-
go and things like that. And
right.
the big motivation on where he goes obviously is rooted in him being that star. I know a lot of criticism, even though he's won rings, a lot of criticism is, oh, he's going to these teams that are already poised to make it or to go the distance. And him being as great a player as he is, he's just that icing on the cake. But it's not necessarily, I guess the criticism that people are giving him is it's not necessarily like he did it himself, or he led a team, or he was the leading factor. He was going to other teams and being a role player. So where, like, yeah, on this topic of KD, like what do we think about him and his moves, what he's been
See,
thinking about or hinting at?
you know what, man? This is the old conversation that they brought up to like older players, right? Just like Shaq said recently, he said, "Damn, if I knew that playing with other superstars was cool, I would have just went to the Bulls." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like I agree with that, man. I think that KD and not saying he's not a good player, he's one of the great players playing right now, but like, man, they all looking to go to a team with other superstars to try to win a chip or two. It's like, come on, man. Like, what's your legacy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, go to a team with some good players who you can make better as the superstar, as the go-to guy. You know what I mean? And I think that he's searching for that, bro. He's searching for that, just like LeBron was searching for that after a while. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
like instead of staying where you at and making a team great because of how your leadership and how great you're playing, like he's like bouncing around looking for another all-star team to play with to win a chip. And it's just like, now, is that saying that, oh man, if he decided to come to the Bulls, I wouldn't want KD on the Bulls?
Right,
No,
right. We're not
absolutely
we're not
not. I
gonna
mean,
push
shit,
him
we just got
away.
Levine. Right,
Right.
absolutely, man. Dude, you stick him with a Levine and a
We going off.
DeRozan. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
Have KD at the small forward, DeRozan playing point or something, and rotating with Lonzo, and have Levine at shooting guard. I mean, that's crazy.
Big three.
That's crazy. But
Right.
I mean, it's I don't know, man. I just think that he's like soul searching, bro. Like he's just looking for that easy win. He's looking for that Miami team. He's looking for that, you know what I'm saying? That Golden State,
Right.
which he was on Golden State. So it's kind of like I don't know. They had it in Brooklyn. I don't know why it fell apart.
Well, hey man, Kyrie is a big I'd say he's a big factor. Just
100%.
just his political stances that kept him off the team for a good chunk of time, and now that that's kind of been figured out and he's back on the team and things like that, it was kind of hard, I feel, to like catch a groove with him as he was added back onto the team so late in the season. So now I wonder if that's another thing too, because you know, at first it looked like Kyrie was opting out and he was looking at his options.
Right.
And then he opted back in, which prompted a whole bunch of, jokes and talk like he couldn't find any team to take him because every team saw what happened last season. So
Right.
they don't want something else to happen where he takes a stance that is going to take him off the court for any prolonged period of time and you can't tell him anything. So I don't necessarily like I'm not super caught up. I'm not necessarily sure if I mean I'm pretty sure KD is going to stay, but you never know. You know, maybe this is factoring into his decision too. KD's like, yo, I'm fed up. I'm done with done with
Right.
playing around with Kyrie. He's not gonna help me. You know, he's not reliable. So, you know, that's something else that we gotta pay attention to during this off season, see where KD ultimately goes and things like that. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
just like you know, not to jump sports and stuff, but Baker Mayfield, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns picked up another quarterback, and
Right.
Baker's like, you know, he was talking like he was going to demand you know what I'm saying, a trade or something like that. And it's like,
Right.
where you gonna go, Baker? You know what I mean?
Right. Who taking you? You know,
Right.
we know how you get down. So everybody's
Right.
proceeding with caution.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. Like, you know.
And as a player, if you get too far into that lane, you don't want to turn into Antonio Brown, right?
Exactly.
Where you're capable, but you're basically left without a job. So
Look at Julio Jones right now. You know, he's trying to
right.
figure out what team he's going to too. See, that's a big factor, man. I feel like a lot of players, they think about leaving their teams or their, you know, not to say that all of their situations are the same, but
Right.
what I'm saying is that when you leave your team or you consider leaving your team or you put it out there that you want to play for another team, and you want to opt out, like you got to take to consideration the actual landscape of the free agency. Like,
Right.
does a team actually need you?
Uh-huh.
It's supply and demand out here as far as players is concerned too.
Hey,
Like
it's like if you decide to quit your job, you better be ready or you better be sure that you got something else lined up before you quit. Because
exactly.
you don't want to be out of a job for months on end,
Hey,
applying and applying.
during 2020, you couldn't get anybody to hire anybody, bro. It was
Right,
hard out here. I mean,
right,
you know
right.
how the job market was. Like, it was hard. Like,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
whoever had a good job was holding on for dear
Oh,
life.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
but now, shit, you could jump jobs 2-3
Get a call, you
times
know? Right,
and get the money you want because ain't nobody working or people don't
right.
want to work now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
you
it's
got to
like
pay attention to that market.
you
So,
got
you
to
know,
pay
it's the
attention
same
to
with
the market.
these athletes for sure. You know,
Yeah.
you don't want to get your ego too high and then you hop out in that water. Now you taking a season off involuntarily.
Yeah. Involuntarily.
You know what I mean? You like,
Hey,
hey, I just missed a whole year paycheck because I thought I was hot shit. You know what I mean? Like,
man, I hope that financial advisor had you in order because shit.
right, right.
you
I hope you ain't put
know,
it all into Bitcoin.
we don't even talk about
Hey,
that.
buy the dip, buy the
You know what I mean?
dip.
Check
Hey,
it.
but before we get off sports, man, definitely, you know, since we're speaking on free agents and things like that, um, what's going on with Miles Bridges, bro? Like
Miles,
he had the basketball player. He's a rapper as well.
right?
He you know, he was pictured with a blunt and you know, a cup of lean and at the time you could play, you know, devil's advocate and be on some like, yeah, so he plays for the Charlotte Hornets, right?
Right.
So at the time you could have plausible deniability and be like, oh, that could just be a Black and Mild or a cigarillo or,
It's
you
Kool-Aid
know
in that
what?
cup.
Yeah, exactly. Kool-Aid. Like you can play that off. So I think like after the initial, you know, shock, it was played off. It was written off. It was like, okay, he's trying to be a rapper as well. Cool. But what has come out is these domestic violence allegations. I think from his girlfriend. I'm not sure if she's his wife, but she definitely said that, you know, he abused her, he choked her, and things like that. And sad to say, even in that situation, plausible deniability, because we've seen that in sports a lot, right? That could have come into play and been like, well, it's he say, she say.
Right.
Let's figure, let he can play until, the case runs through or whatever. But what's really interesting about this case is that his son, his child gets on camera and corroborates the story, talking about, yeah, daddy was choking out mommy. At that point, it's looking bad. So I don't know if he's getting signed back to the Charlotte's Hornets for this season. It looks like it's done. It looks like his career is done. So, yeah, I don't know if you heard about that, but that was definitely a grand opening, grand closing type of situation, because he had promising. He did have a promising career ahead of him, as he was a skilled star. He was a young star. He could have gone a lot of places in the NBA.
Yeah, he played for Michigan, man, the Spartans.
Right.
And it's crazy, bro, because I feel like, just like a lot of things we're gonna touch on today. We talked about this before. It's like you at the top of the world, bro. Like,
right. Leave the streets alone.
What's wrong with you?
I get it. A lot of athletes come from the streets as well. What they say, athletes want to be rappers want to be athletes. So it's like, we get it. And there are people who rap, shout out Dame Lillard and things like that. But, you are still an athlete, and the majority of your money is coming from athletics. Bro. And I'm pretty sure you will never make the same money in music as you will in basketball. Right. So you should be protecting that a little bit more. But, you are out there posting alleged drugs. And your child is on video corroborating your girl's story. It's like, it's not good, bro. It's not good.
Nah. And you know what, man? It's sad to see it, because like most rappers, right, who make it big, quote unquote, make it big and shit. Bro, they leave that street stuff alone, man.
Really?
Like, really? You a businessman now. You know what I mean? Like, you a businessman. And even you as you a basketball player who's trying to be a rapper. Like you said, you brought up Damian Lillard, right? Great example, bro. He's rapping and doing his thing, but Dame stay in his lane, bro. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do what you do, but come on, man. Like, you ain't that regular guy no more. What you trying to prove? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just messed up, man. You assassinate yourself before you can even get to the point of greatness, honestly. Yeah. Because it's like, like you said, he won't get he probably won't get re-signed by that basketball club. They don't want that kind of, they don't want that kind of publicity. And and as a rapper, like, come on, man. You an athlete. You ain't drinking and smoking weed every day, bro.
Right. No one's gonna take you necessarily seriously.
Come on, man. You drinking Gatorade and water and running plays, bro. We know what you're doing. You ain't drinking lean and falling asleep and going to practice.
Look, man, Shaq went platinum, and Shaq was on songs with Biggie, but even still, people still look at him as Shaq. They don't look at him as a rapper. Like, it just is what it is, bro.
Nah, man. DJ Diesel, baby. You know what I'm saying? He's still out here. He's still out here. And don't got no double cup in his hand. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Come on, man. That shit is.
Come on, G. You already got it made, bro.
And that's the thing, bro. I don't want to like put all the pressure on them. I believe, like, that's the people around them too. Because somebody should say something. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So we got to do better. We got to do better, man.
Now, speaking on doing better, obviously, past few weeks, it's been a lot in this country. When you talk about the Supreme Court, the Roe v. Wade, and just like everything else that these politicians have been putting us through, because it's not just Roe v. Wade. There's a lot of things that have been going on that haven't been necessarily talked about, such as, they ruled that Border Patrol police can go into your house with no
No
probable
warrant.
cause if
Yep.
you live within 100 miles of a border, and a majority of Americans live within 100 miles of that border. You know, what else? I mean, they struck down gun laws in New York. It was a lot of things going on that leading up to the fourth had a lot of people feeling like, do I still want to celebrate the fourth?
Right.
But the fourth came, and before we get into anything, how was your fourth? I mean, me, I just, we just grilled and that was it. I mean, we had work off, so it wasn't any crazy like let me throw on the stars and stripes. But yeah, I mean, got the day off from work, might as well still grill and look
Right.
outside the window and see some fireworks. So the fourth was cool for me. I don't know if you did anything.
Yeah, I was chilling, man. I cooked up and just relaxed at home, really.
Right.
But food for thought though, man. All the stuff that people were posting, right? Especially the women in this country not feeling protected.
Right.
The rights, especially with something really big happened on the fourth, which made headlines instantly. So it's kind of
In
like
our home state of
yeah,
Illinois,
yep. And then a
northern
well
suburb,
yeah, a wealthy
Highland Park,
northern suburb. Yeah.
wealthy, mostly
Yeah.
Jewish northern suburb,
Yeah.
Highland Park,
And just to,
which, just to let everybody know, is not Chicago. It is a suburb of Chicago, but it is not Chicago.
no,
Of course, when you hear gun violence, you hear Illinois. A lot of people I saw online were hopping at, oh, of course, Chicago. This happened in Chicago. This happened in Chicago. A lot of people had to be like, this is not Chicago. It's way out of the city limits. It's a
yeah,
suburb, but it's not Chicago. I saw people blaming Lori Lightfoot, saying, what are you doing? Good job again, blah, blah, blah. Again, people had to say that this is not Chicago. It's not the same county. There are two different mayors. These are two different places.
yeah. Highland Park
So,
is a northern wealthy suburb. And just to put it in perspective for people who don't know, it's where Michael Jordan used to live. It's
right.
where right, it's where a lot of people with money live. And
Uh-huh.
it's probably like what 50, 60, damn near 100 miles outside of the city limits going north.
Right.
So I mean, it's
So almost like we calling it a Chicago suburb. It's not even that.
no,
I wouldn't even say that, because when
it's a
when you look at like Chicago land and things like that, like I'm pretty sure Naperville is like, just to give reference of another suburb, I'm pretty sure Naperville is like 35 miles out or something like that from the city,
right,
or at least 35, 45 minutes.
right,
So to be 60 miles out from the city now, you're really pushing it, calling that Chicagoland still. So I only put that disclaimer out there because, of course, when people jump to do that, it's not just a geographical mistake, but it is loaded, right? Because anytime you just want to blame Chicago out of nowhere, we know what else is coming with it.
right.
Oh, those inner city black people and this and
Uh-huh.
that. So that's just what I want to get out of the way first and foremost, that these are two separate areas. Just because of what Chicago has been stigmatized in the media doesn't mean that we need to take credit for everything that goes on in Illinois. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. So it was another mass shooting at a Fourth of July parade, and what people heard shots, and at first they thought it was fireworks, and then it was pandemonium.
Yeah. It's
And
sad,
we
man.
we yeah, it's definitely sad. We got some updates. So death count has risen to 7. 47 victims total with injuries. Over 70 shots were fired. So I guess he was on a rooftop dressed as a woman. He drove to Madison, Wisconsin, then back to Illinois before the car he was driving was reported. The shooter bought 2 rifles, 3 handguns, and a shotgun legally in Illinois within the past few years. He had 2 previous encounters with police. Um, The second of which, I guess his parents had called the cops on him because he threatened to kill everyone, and cops came and got and you know confiscated 16 knives, a dagger, a sword. So it's a lot of things that are like, hey, there's been red flags. Of course, like we always find out with these shooters, there are red flags that at the time, I guess people or cops deemed that you didn't have enough to arrest or this and that. Um, I get, this past April, they say that the shooter appeared at a Highland Park Passover program at a synagogue uninvited. He was turned away. But it was confirmed that this attack on July 4th was pre-planned. And, there are some videos posted on social media that alluded to this plan. But right now he's being charged with 7 counts of first degree murder. If convicted, automatic life sentence, possibility of no parole, with no possibility of parole, currently being held without bond. So yeah, man, I know other than that, people had, when the reports first came out, some people were saying, oh, he's a rapper, which of course, again, is a loaded and charged term, because I thought about this earlier. And of course, rap music being predominantly black and things like that, you're looking for a scapegoat. If he was a gamer, they would have probably used that too, because, video games and violence. But I have a hard time believing that if he was like a ballet dancer or something, would they say, 22-year-old ballet dancer shoots up? It's one of those things where they know the headline is going to get clicks. So they say 22-year-old rapper shoots up. But
right,
that's another disclaimer that I want to make. Do not put this blame on rap music. Do not put this blame on rappers. Like, please, I saw them trying it. I don't think it's working, because I see less and less headlines.
They tried Chicago, bro. They tried rappers. They just try all type of bullshit instead of just saying that it's the 22-year-old young white male, like he always is. Yeah, like it always is on mass shootings. Let's put that shit out there. I'm gonna say it, and like, just say what it is, man. Stop looking, like you said. Stop looking for a scapegoat. This shit has happened too many times. Stop trying to bullshit it. Stop trying to spin it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is like the what? It's like the second or third time we talked about this in the past, like 3 or 4 months. It's crazy.
Right. It's nuts, man. It really is. My bad.
So,
I got a text message. Yeah.
2 or 3 run-ins with police officers, and come on. Stupid.
Yeah, bro. It's like it's sickening. It's sickening. And there was what was it? I think it was an Illinois senator said something about, like, hours after the attack, said it's time to move on and let's celebrate. And people rightfully so lit him up, because it was hours this time. I mean, in this country, the cycle of these mass shootings is cynical. It's real, like, it's real nasty. So it's like,
yeah. And you know what? Like I said last time, man, we have such quick access to media and what's going on nowadays. We are way more educated about what's going on.
Right.
That shit like that doesn't go unnoticed. Hours after the shooting, you said, let's move on. Like, shut the fuck up.
Right. And see, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of, it's real dark at this point, because, like I was, alluding to with the whole cycle that we go through, right? The tragedy, the thoughts and prayers, you discuss it in the media for a little bit, and then it's slowly, you move on to other topics.
Right.
And now we were at a place where someone tried to speed up that cycle. That's a messed up cycle in general.
in general.
Because it's like, yo, what's the solution? Because it's not like anyone is rushing any legislation to ban or prohibit guns. Texas changed the thing to 21, and now here's a 22-year-old kid. So what does that mean? What does that mean, upping the age limit of anything? Like,
they
so
should, they should just start putting out public service announcements before every holiday. Like, hey, everybody be vigilant. You see anything?
Right. See something, say something.
Right.
But, this guy has diluted that whole process down to mere hours.
Yeah.
Which is like, damn, G, like, we already know this is bleak out here, and we already know you're just going to tell us to vote and thoughts and prayers and things like that. But now it's mere hours. We still processing this, and you telling us, let's move on and celebrate. That whole town can't celebrate. What you talking about? What they supposed to do? So you saying that people who are out at the parade heard a bunch of shots, ran to get cover, probably went home, and now what they're supposed to do at home? Turn on the grill in the backyard? They probably still shaking up in their own home.
Right. My best friend and my neighbors down the street just got shot. Let me throw some burgers on the grill.
Right. That's not going to happen.
What?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, when I heard Highland Park, I almost thought it was going to be, one of those stories that gets brushed over. I was almost surprised that it became as big a story as it did. And the fact that it is such a big story, it's like, no, the nation's not ready to move past it, my guy. Like,
yeah,
like, this is crazy. And this is another thing. Like, there was, I don't know if it was a mass shooting or an attempted mass shooting, but there were some shots that rang out at a parade in Philly. So it was like 2 mass shootings going on, or at least one attempted, and one in Illinois. But the mayor of Philly was like, yo, I'm tired. He literally said it. He was like, yo, I'm tired. I wake up every morning just expecting something bad to happen, and I can't wait to step down. And everyone was like kind of in an uproar. And I saw one tweet go like, man, it really must be tough for this guy. He needs to get some help. Like, when he steps down, he needs to get some mental help. He needs to speak to people. He needs to go to therapy, this and that. And people shit on that guy. They were like, nah, fuck that. You already knew what you was doing when you signed up for the job. Like, don't say that you're tired when you weren't only mayor once, but you were a mayor a second term. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were campaigning for. You knew what you were raising money for. And I get all that too. So hopefully this is not a hot take, but I kind of agree. I kind of agree with Buddy, because yes, I agree with everyone else. He should know what's going on. Going into office is not a cakewalk. It's not something that you're just going to chill and things are going to just magically appear and you can just wave your hands at people. Right. It is going to be tough. But at the end of the day, look at the presidency. Every president who goes in, you can look at them. Exactly. Age is crazy. Look at how Obama went full gray 4 years. Not just full gray, but you see in his face is aged. Right. So it is a high stress toll. And if this guy is telling people that he can't take it, yes, it should warrant some anger. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't still need help.
And look, bro,
I would tell him, yes, step down, go get the help you need, and put somebody else in there that can handle it. But I mean, what are we gonna do? He just gonna drop off the face of the earth? Yeah, go get the help you need, bro.
That's just like what you mentioned about that senator, bro. And that's actually a telltale sign about society, man. Like how dumbed down we are to these violent acts and to the stress that's really out here and the bullshit that's really out here and the stress that's created from the parties pulling at each other and dealing with companies, and then you got to please the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the compassion at? These people, yeah, they are leaders, but I mean, they're still human. You know what I mean? Yeah. Regular humans talk to people, got, psychiatrists, and, have to de-stress from the day. I got to de-stress from the day when I come home from work, like,
yeah, right.
Let alone being in one of those positions and making decisions behind the scenes and, trying to do the right thing by the people who supported you. And, it's a lot.
Right.
Not to say that, yeah, 100% correct. You know what you're getting into. Like you know, you make a decision to tackle that burden when you step into office. But
Right.
you know, sometimes, man, like you get to a point where you just like everybody's working against me. Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to make something good happen. Like, you know,
Right.
I need some support. And I see it every day, man. You can see it every day with Congress. You can see it every day with, you know what I'm saying? All the shit that's going on. It's like, you know, what's the right decision to make? What's the right thing to do? Somebody's gonna be pissed off at you, you
Right.
know, and
And
it's
I know he not the president, so he doesn't have access to like Camp David and things like that.
right.
But you know, I'm sure you got, you know, you got access to other things,
Yeah.
other, you know, spots where you can retreat and have somebody else handle things for a, you know, a day or two or maybe even a week or something like that. So, you know, just speaking in general, not speaking for this guy, I'm not trying to, you know, back him up too much because it is a tough situation. That's all I'm acknowledging is that it's a tough situation. If he can't handle it, he should step down and put
Yeah.
somebody in there who can handle it.
That statement isn't
But
wrong, right?
yeah, but you know, to you know, help out anybody else in the future, I guess I would think that hey, just like mental health is important for everybody else, it should be doubly important for those people in power because they need to have a right mind state to,
Make
you know,
decisions.
do right by us.
Right.
So, you know, if they feel something, I would say, you know, they should have a therapist on deck, on call, on retainer, or they
Shit.
should have an area where they can retreat for a little bit and, you know,
Right.
calm down and come back to it because everybody's human, man. Everybody's human. So
Yeah, man. You ain't
like I said, yeah.
a masseuse in a hot tub on deck. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Some
Something.
some like, hey man, let me get my mind right and let me get back to it. And I'm sure things will be better. Things will you know, be better. So, you know, definitely prayers up. You
Prayers
know,
up,
I
man.
hate that it starts in prayers, but you know, prayers up for Highland Park and for Philly. And you know,
Still,
hopefully we can figure something out. Yeah.
yeah, still for Uvalde too. You know,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
they just
They're
had
still
it.
they're still going through it. They're still going through it because now with the investigation on the police and their inaction during those crucial hours, you see how
Yeah.
they are harassing some of the parents. You know,
Right.
there's accounts of, hey, you know, this one mom ran in to save her kid or something, and now the cops are like harassing her, like parked outside her crib, flashing their lights all type of night and day and things like that. And it's like, damn, G, like how big of scumbags y'all gotta be to do that. So at the end of the day, you probably intimidating her because what, she made you look bad on the job, but that's on you. You guys have the guns. She's an
Bro,
unarmed woman who ran in and saved her kid. So what you really should be doing is applauding her and protecting her. Yeah, you fucked up on the job, but
it
you
took an
should, yeah.
off duty border patrol agent with a shotgun coming from the barbershop to run in there, get his wife who was a teacher, get his daughter who went to school there, get them
Yep,
out, then run back in there and stop the shooter. And
exactly.
you got fucking police officers outside
Not doing shit.
not doing nothing. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Are you
Right,
serious?
right,
Come
right.
on, man. Come
So there's
on,
a,
bro.
yeah,
You got an
there's
active
definitely,
shooter. Hold on, you got an active
right.
shooter. You ain't got to figure
Yeah,
out what the situation is. Shots are going off.
exactly,
Little kids are getting
exactly,
killed.
exactly.
What else you need to know?
And look, that's what we're gonna figure out in this investigation because it gets weirder by the day.
Hell yeah,
Talking
it
about,
is.
nah, this door doesn't lock. You knew that, this and that. Like there's some, you know, I don't want to go into conspiracy talk. You know, maybe they was really just scared, but
And that's where I'm. Hey, that's
clearly
where
there's
I'm at.
something going on with that inaction. The
Yeah,
inaction is unexcusable because you
honest.
got, it's one man in there and you got a whole police force, and especially with the militarization, yeah, I'm gonna use it, but especially with the militarization of the police, I know you got riot gear. You could have all gone in there in unison, SWAT team style, you know, big barricades around yourself. So, you know, don't tell me that it wasn't possible for you to go in there and do something.
Man, I'm a veteran, bro, and I'm gonna speak from my point of view, and this is my point of view. There's no way I'm outside of a school and it's a shooter shooting kids, and I'm not going in there.
Right. Right.
No way.
Right.
And I got it on me.
Right.
I'm armed. Ain't no way.
And you were trained for this. Let's not forget. This kid is an amateur. You were trained.
Ain't no way, bro. That it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I know, I mean, we probably both know police officers and good dudes, but like this shit don't make sense. It doesn't make sense, So yeah, I'm interested to see what they find out or what they figure out, because I don't know how the town or city, whatever it is of Uvalde, I don't know how they even allow them to stay police officers. I wouldn't even take them serious.
Right.
Honestly.
But I guess that's why these police officers are acting out now, because they know it's the end.
You should have acted out when you had the chance to save the people.
Right. But it makes them look worse, because y'all can't stand up to an active shooter, but you're gonna harass the survivors.
That's crazy.
Right. So yeah, man, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in this country right now that we still hope that things can get better, whether it be these gun laws or whether it be these reproductive rights and things like that. It's a shaky time right now in the US. So the 4th was definitely interesting to celebrate. But in the court, I definitely shouted out Khalil, because he's in the Air Force right now. I'm gonna shout you out as well. You're a veteran. Happy 4th to both y'all, because y'all did what you had to do to ensure that we are in this country of freedom. As much as we still got.
Right.
Right. But outside of that, July 1st was just a few days ago. That's when the new Stranger Things dropped, or at least the second half of this latest season. Did you watch it? Did you finish it?
Hey man,
actually, I know you watched it because I seen the group chat. Like this crazy.
Hey, I'm in it right now. So
right.
I'm in
so
it
yeah,
right now.
we won't do no spoiling and whatnot. But yeah, man, it was hard, bro. It was good, man. If anyone's watching, they definitely wrapped it up well. And we ready for that next final season.
Yeah, it's Stranger Things, man. It's heavy. You got to get into it, right? And I had to do that when they dropped a new season. I actually started over. I watched it from the very beginning and watched it through, and now I'm here, right? And it's like, man, once it starts rolling, you can't put it down. So
right.
So shout out to the production team and to all the actors and my boy Steve. That's my boy.
Right. Shout out Steve.
Right. So
DePaul alum. Let me shout that out.
Right. Out here performing, out here doing this thing.
Right.
And yeah, man. I mean, shit. It's Stranger Things, man. If you ain't watching it,
right. Get in tune. Yeah,
I don't want to drop no spoilers. Yeah.
Right. No spoiler alerts. No spoiler alerts. What else? What else we got TV wise, man?
Shoot, TV wise, I don't know if you ever watched Vikings, but
I heard about it. I gotta tap in.
Tap in, bro. So there's an original series of Vikings, right. And then they just created a new one called Valhalla that's on Netflix as well.
Okay.
If you got some time, I mean, it's a good mix of fantasy and nonfiction. They try to keep it, to the historical. So I mean, right. It's a good watch for sure.
Speaking of Netflix, I just saw that they uploaded a whole bunch of Nickelodeon shows. So right. All that is on there. Kenan and Kel.
Come on, man. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends, yeah. There was Drake and Josh. I was like, okay. So I tuned into Kenan and Kel earlier today. I'm
Right.
surprised they only had 2 seasons. I was like, dang, bro, like that's a legendary show just off 2 seasons. Like
Right.
set up Keenan's whole career just off 2 seasons. That was wild to me.
Period.
Um, but yeah, I actually remember a lot of those episodes. Like that was my jam back in the day.
Yeah.
So I see Netflix, man. They trying to do a little bit to keep their subscribers. Did we talk last week about the man from Toronto?
Yeah, we brought it up.
Right, 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 right. So
Excellent movie.
I caught a little bit of it. I'm gonna actually have to tap into the full movie this week and come back and give my actual opinion on it. But from what I
Yeah.
saw, hilarious, bro.
Hey, Kevin
Hilarious from
Hart.
what I saw.
Hey, shout out
He
to
not
Kevin
missing.
Hart, man.
Right,
He
right,
he don't miss, bro. Exactly.
right, right.
Took the words out of my mouth. He don't miss, man. He really has honed in and sharpened his swords, and he knows his craft, bro.
Yeah,
He
man.
knows his craft, man. I can't even think of somebody who's funnier than Kevin right now, to be honest with you. You know,
Hey,
Kevin.
they brought it up. They brought it up in the court, and they was like, "Is Kevin washed?" And I was like, "How?" Like this last movie is dope. The true
What?
story was dope when he did more of the drama,
Yeah,
serious role.
right.
His last few movies, don't get it twisted. Just because they go into Netflix, it don't mean that they weak. These
Nah.
movies is tough.
First
So
off, Netflix is paying. That's first off. Second
facts,
off,
facts, facts.
second of all, like, yeah, it's Kevin Wash. That's a crazy question. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
Cat Williams, debatable.
right, right,
I watched his I watched his last stand up. You know what I mean?
right,
And it was
right,
like I got a couple chuckles, but Kevin, like, he keep me. You know, anytime
right,
he
right.
does something, it's hilarious. You know.
Right,
So,
you know how it go.
right.
What else? What else we had TV wise on Showtime? On Showtime, Flatbush Misdemeanors is back. Um, I'm pretty sure that comedian who runs that show, I'm pretty sure he was involved with DePaul, or he went to DePaul at one point. Um, so I've been reaching out to try to get an interview scheduled with him.
Little alumni
Cause
connection.
right. I know like he left me on red, but it don't matter. We gonna just keep reaching out. At some point he gonna see us. Shout out Flatbush Misdemeanors. Check that out. It's a dope comedy.
Right.
The Shy. The Shy is back.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's gone a little off the rails since season 1, but I still tune in. So right now it's more so like heavy on the relationship drama.
Relationships. Yeah.
Right. So it's cool. A little less street things, but I tap in just because I'm already invested at this point.
Right.
And
Right.
then they had another show called We Hunt Together, which is a British detective show on Showtime. And that season 2 just came out. And yeah, it's lit. So you
It's
know how the
lit, bro.
British are. You know how the
Hey,
British are. They don't
hey,
slack.
hey. Speaking of that, my favorite Irish gang, the Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Gotta check them out. Oh
Right,
man,
right.
I
Oh,
finished
and
that.
you watch Westworld, right?
Right. Right.
Because I tapped in the HBO app just to see if they had anything new on there, and the only thing new was Westworld. They said new episodes,
Mhm.
so I wasn't even aware. I thought Westworld
They didn't
was
really promote it like you know what I
yeah,
mean?
right,
They
right.
really
I
didn't
thought,
promote it.
and their past few seasons, I thought it was big blockbuster, a lot of money behind this
A lot
this
of people
stuff.
love
So
Westworld. They got a following.
right,
But you know what? To be honest with you, that's probably why they didn't promote it, because they already got a
they're like, we
following.
already know, yeah,
Right,
we good.
right. That's just
So
like Peaky Blinders. Like I said, like that, when you pull up Netflix, it's right there on the front. But they
uh-huh.
didn't really like promote it. Because if you tapped in, you tapped in.
Then you
By,
already know, yeah,
by the fifth, sixth season, you just like, you in there. So,
right.
you know, they moving, man. It's some good things on, to check out. Shit, especially right now, summertime, so much going on. Why not catch a good series, right? Catch a good movie.
Right, right, right,
At this
right,
point,
right.
at
You
this
know,
point,
you know how I go.
yeah.
Shit, man. I haven't seen too many movies as of late. I know my family just went to go see Minions. I haven't tuned into any of those movies, so I opted out.
Yeah. You know,
But I do know Yeet was on the soundtrack, which is, he's a rapper that the young kids love now. Yeah, look at me, boomer,
right.
sounding like a real boomer, the young kids. But
Yeah.
I mean, Lyrical Lemonade was involved in the soundtrack, I think, or curating the soundtrack. So, you know, Cole Bennett, that's another DePaul alumni. So, shout out to Minions if you're into that type of movie. Go see that. I know that's out. But yeah, bro. I know we coming up on the hour, and like I said, I gotta dip real quick. So, what track we leaving them with today?
Man, I was banging that Lupe, bro.
Hey,
Lupe. Yeah,
facto. I know we threw some I know we threw on Phonem on the last episode, so we gonna hit you with another track from the from Drill Music and Zion, just because it's that necessary. 2 weeks in a row, we gonna tell you gotta tap in, because it really is, bro. Like, let's not lie.
It's a good album, bro.
Let's not lie. Like Lupe, like, and this is the thing. Like, I've said this to like real fans of Lupe, and they're like, I'm like, damn, Lupe seemed like he entering in another prime. Like, right. if you were tapped in with Food and Liquor, if you were tapped in with The Cool, and I know after those first two albums, he started going through some label drama. So then it was Lasers, and then I think he had an album with like a black cover and things like that. But after that, that's when I feel like Lupe's career went into, this is just for the fans and me, not necessarily like I'm trying to go mainstream or I'm trying to break records. So that's when you got the, Drogas Wave, and you got the House EP and things like that. And of course he had Murals during that time, and he had a lot of dope things. So don't get me wrong, it's not like he ever fell off. But I feel like Lupe entered a period where he was just rapping at such a high level. You just had to be a purist, or you had to just be
tapped in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have to be extra tapped in to even fathom or understand what he's saying. So don't get me wrong, he didn't dumb down Drill Music and Zion, but I feel like this album is structured more like those early albums where it's like, it is heavy, but the average listener is still going to be able to pull something from it and understand what he's saying and things like that. So that's my take on this project, is that it's just like, it's super back to form.
Back to form. I think that's the track you should play, bro. Play Drill Music and Zion.
Yes, sir.
Drop that at the end.
Man, episode 76.
Yeah.
We moving, baby. Hey
man. Let's hope for better days, man. It's
yes, sir. Better days. It's the Cod.
Yo, peace.
Yeah, the August Symphonic, power of a blonic, to heal, steel, medical, bill, drill, harmonics, silver sonnets from the Banyuis and bonnets. I leave a whole sleeve down in Condoleezza's comments. Coppery bonics, competent and gauntlet, Gotama's economics, rock gondolas till you vomit. Bigger than a Tongan, write signatures with a Thomas. Great Wall of China climber and Bonnie will correspond it. Opera onyx, populars for convicts. Stay below the Doppler, turn Robotniks into sonics. Position jostlers, monitor hegemonics. Robots make the robots that solder the electronics. Nostradamus can bother to keep a promise. Logic's on a rocket where profit defeats a conscience. Somebody's daughter is contemplating a convent, but a man with $1 is slobbering for her haunches. Mouth is just watering for some nonsense, and this might be the moment her modeling probably launches. Gobbling collard greens through the rompus, washing Gosling, watch hollering, replace a Congress. Golden gossiping, auditing through my content. Running out of water, just pondering where the pond went. World's hottest summer, or wondering if they pawned it. Desperate for the credits to come tumbling through the conflict.
These episodes of the soul made me cold, past the more control. Can you make a hole for all the true music in time? These episodes of the soul make me cold, past the more control. Can we make a hole for all the drill music in Zion?
Now there are those that resoluted to wreck, got caught, fought, lost, electrocuted to death. Came a little late for the rescue, and the flesh DNA exonerates posthumously whatever's left. No resurrection, but reputation's correct. The revelation brings decorated regrets. All due respect, it's not really about fair collective side, cause the real killer's still out there. Probably calling the police, complaining about his neighbors, or just walking on the beach. Why should he have such views of the ocean and not be hanging from the gallows with his neck neatly broken? I let it soak in, then I put the soap in, then I put the boats in, then I play with both of them. The hot tubs now looking like a yacht club, making sure I get all of the shoes like a bot does. Neighbor is pissed, tells the cops if he wants to bathe like a sailor, live on a container ship. I party all night and the banging is intense, cause I know exactly what you did and you gon' pay for it, you bitch.
Episodes of the soul made me cold, past the more control. Can you make a hole for all the drill music in Zion? These episodes of the soul make me cold, past the more control. Can we make a hole for all the drill music in Zion?
We'll end this shortly, story moral is the same. You either fly into the portal or pull the portal over the plane. Quarreling mortals is nothing short of insane. Let's try and turn this quarter water to a quarter Bortles and James.
These episodes of the soul make me cold, past the more control. Can we make a hole for all the drill music in Zion? These episodes of the soul make me cold, past the more control. Can we make a hole for all the drill music in Zion?